So, anyway, science. I've come up with a final theory here as to how those spaceships are coming in. Um, they're coming in through this electromagnetic wave, but this wave here, it's controlled by the evil grandmother and grandfather. Okay, so she's that orange part, that's fire, that's electricity. He's that green part, that's magnetism. Okay, so um, we can't come in here yet because those waves, they're controlled by evil. So like a block here. We can't come in. Even if we turned on that nuclear fusion reactor, everything will get bunged up over here. The nuclear fusion reactor at Karen to create a white hole would get stuck here at this universe because of these guys being this way of being evil, this way of being good. We can't cross there. So we need a way to cross there. That way is what I'm about to teach you. So it, as I was doing my videos on my phone, as I usually do, I learned something. I learned something about amino acids. So the bad guys have been getting me to fear eating meat. So for the better part of 2 weeks, I've been on a vegan diet. I mean, it's good. Like I've lost a lot of weight. It helps me run down the road because it doesn't put any stress on my knees. So I've lost probably 20, 30 pounds over the past 2 weeks. But I've since discovered why they didn't want me eating the meat. And it's connected to scripture. Um, I don't know what verse it is, but it talks about Satan being bound by a great chain. That chain refers to a polypeptide chain. So that's what a polypeptide chain looks like. Like those are all the amino acids. There's like 20, 26 amino acids, I think. So when you eat meat, it creates what's called a peptide, a polypeptide chain. That polypeptide chain is the chain that's gonna bind to Lucifer for 1,000 years. Basically, what it means is when I begin eating meat and running with those that chain of polypeptides, I'm going to purify the atoms in this universe. I mean the hydrogen atoms. The hydrogen atoms in this universe right now are controlled by grandpa and grandma, and they're evil. So you want to think of those as being negative, negative. Um, but me, because I'm not climaxing, I'm not doing drugs, and I'm not drinking, I'm not smoking, I'm not doing anything sinful. So when I run and when I eat this protein diet, these polypeptides, specifically the hydrogen atoms inside that meat, which I didn't know exist inside of meat until I watched a video tonight to learn about amino acids, means that when I eat that meat and run, that's what's going to purify this universe. All the hydrogen atoms in here. You want to think of my spirit being in control of creation, and when I'm running, that energy that powers me is gonna basically transform these guys. Let's just put it really simple. These guys are no longer going to be in control. They'll be gone. Okay, so these are spirits here, right? The hydrogen atoms, those are spirits. They're gone. Once I seize control here, I'll have every atom of hydrogen atom in the universe is mine. But this electromagnetic wave here, science, these are still spirits. So this is still grandma. And this is, oh, that's grandpa, I should say. That's grandpa. That's grandpa. And this one is grandma. So it's not like they're disappearing, right? Basically, they're just, they're in a state of dreaming. Their existence is a constant, consistent dream. So they're here and they're here. Okay, so these little things here, that's that electricity. Think of that as being the grandfather and the grandmother. But when I take over the hydrogen, that just means that they no longer exist there. They exist as this electricity here, and they exist as the supermassive black holes, the star black holes. So once I take over the hydrogen here, because this wave is negative, because they're evil. So this is negative and negative. Okay. So what I learned from that show is that guy says he's talking about things being positive and negative in terms of the branched chain amino acids or the polypeptides. I knew what that meant. It means, in terms of this here science, it means that when this hydrogen atom becomes positive, because I'm positive as the father of all creation, and this wave here becomes negative because these guys, grandma and grandpa, are negative and evil, there's an attraction. So this, all the hydrogen atoms in the universe are going to be attracted to that negative wave, and they're going to stick to it like that. They'll stick to the electric side of the wave, like that atom, that electron will probably stick to that electric wave. It'll look like that, right? And then the magnetic wave, it'll stick to it like that. So the entire wave is going to be covered in hydrogen atoms, and they're going to be positive hydrogen atoms. So because this wave here, okay, so this is a positive wave, and this is a positive wave here, and this is a negative wave, negative, negative. That's why they can't come in here. But when I start running by eating protein while maintaining my diet and not climaxing, not doing anything bad, when all of these atoms begin sticking to that invisible electromagnetic radiation, which is dark energy, dark matter, the supermassive black holes at the center of galaxies, they're all interconnected by dark or invisible electromagnetic radiation waves. That's what the dark energy, dark matter is. I can't remember which is which. You have to forgive me, but anyhow, that's what those invisible electromagnetic radiation waves are. So the bridge that's here, okay, so here it is here. That wave flows right through from one universe to the other universe, and these are molecules. Like the universe, if you flew to the edge of the universe, it's not solid; it's molecular. So it's representation of a molecule of gold. So that's it here, like molecules. So that wave goes through there. So with this wave being positive and this one being positive, these being negative, but these being now encased in a bunch of hydrogen atoms, it now turns that wave into a positive wave. So the electricity is positive and the magnetism is positive. And when that happens, the UFOs can turn on the nuclear fusion reactor over here, which is the Moon Karen. That Moon Karen, when they turn that giant nuclear fusion reactor on around the Moon Karen, that thing is going to everything will get crushed at the Moon Karen. And the black hole that's inside that Moon Karen over here, that black hole will remain, and everything will ride along this electromagnetic wave. All the pieces of the moon, it'll get sucked into that black hole, and it'll ride this electromagnetic wave from this universe, bouncing from galaxy to galaxy, then star to star, till it reaches the final galaxy over here somewhere, and then it'll shoot through here into a connecting galaxy here, bounce from galaxy to galaxy, taking the quickest path to the Milky Way. When this wave hits the Milky Way galaxy, it'll bounce from star to star to star until it reaches our star, and then it'll go from our star. It'll go over to Pluto, and then over to the Moon Karen. So if we want to draw another planet here, there's Pluto, and then let's say over here is the Moon Karen. Okay, so this will be Pluto, and then there'll be another little wave here. To Karen. Now, as soon as they turn that machine on, all the particles of that moon will come flying in on this wave now, and this moon here, it'll get ejected, like it'll blow up. You won't see it anymore. It'll blow up, and then all you'll see is that white hole where the moon used to be at its core. There'll be a white hole there. Now, how the spaceships work is they'll stop here because this moon or this Pluto here, it's creating a magnetosphere from its black hole core like that. So that magnetosphere is the brake. When they decide to fly their spaceships in after they turn the machine on, they'll just these machines, these spaceships, they're designed with those engines, right? So the engines will fly out around like this and enter that black hole, and they'll come flying into that magnetic wave, will take them in, and now that this magnetic wave has been recharged with positive hydrogen atoms, that ship will ride that magnetic wave here. It'll fly into this universe, and that's what those are there. So they're riding the revised magnetic wave. So they'll come in on that magnetic wave there and fly through the universe. There's those little hydrogen atoms bound to that new chain, or not the chain, but the electromagnetic wave. So the spaceships from that parallel universe can now enter this universe by riding the invisible electromagnetic radiation, or gravity, if you want to call it, that has attracted the universe's positive hydrogen atoms, allowing these spaceships to come into our universe. And when they hit the Pluto's magnetosphere, it's like a brake. It stops the spaceship. And then once they stop there, they can fly off of Pluto and fly over to Saturn, over here, and then come back to the sun, and then come over to Earth, riding that wave of electromagnetism, now that it's been encased in positive hydrogen atoms. That's the plan, and I just thought of that tonight. I didn't know that unless I watched that amino acid video, and I'm glad I did, because this is a big piece of the puzzle that was missing. So now, what that in theory means, science, is if this chain here if this is basically I've hijacked that electromagnetic energy, using positively charged hydrogen atoms to a negatively charged invisible electromagnetic radiation wave, in theory, it can mean that these hydrogen atoms are now charged. They have the charge of from this negative invisible electromagnetic radiation wave. That charge, in theory, could allow the spaceships to travel as previously talked about, where they're riding the atom's energy at the quantum scale. So remember, I said I used that theory where if you were to shrink down and look at the size of an atom, and if it was the size of the planet, like the solar system, imagine the solar system being the atom, and you were to measure that electricity of the sun and the planet, it would be 11 lightning bolts worth of electricity. But then if you shot back up again, and then we're looking down at an atom, you'd measure it, and it would be negligible. But you match that electricity with your reactors. So there's 11 reactors in there, or 11 lightning bolts worth of electricity, which somehow allows a spaceship to travel the newly electrified universe because of the hydrogen atoms being pure and connected to these invisible electromagnetic radiation waves. These are electrical too. So when those stick to there, they're being charged by that electricity. And that's what's going to electrify the universe, allowing that spaceship to, I believe, fly anywhere it wants to fly. So that's a puzzle piece I didn't have. I know the science I just told you. It's theoretically possible. Now, the catalyst to do that is me eating that protein and running. So I now have to get protein, incorporate protein in my diet. And what that means is, I talked about a toaster wave in my other videos about it being new technology. It's not new technology. It's something that evil is aware about. Basically, you put food in a microwave, and you can transform it to anything you want without harming an animal. You break it down using nuclear fusion reactors inside the microwave, which uses gamma rays to break down the food. And it uses, it's a black body object. So a black body object can be used to break down material at the nanoscale or the quantum scale. You basically put some carbon in your microwave, and next thing you know, you get a big steak dinner, without harming a cow, right? So I know that technology exists. Evil knows it exists. And now this is a newer technology. This is a technology that evil doesn't know exists. It's our way of coming in here. And the way to get in here is for me to eat that meat while running every morning when I get up in the morning. I tend to run in the morning when I first wake up because I want to use the my fat reserves here. Like I want to use this as my energy because it's these guys here, the evil grandma and grandpa, like the atoms in there. That's them. So I want to drain their life force from them, from the atoms. I'm basically sucking their energy like an energy vampire. I'm taking their energy from my body to sustain my body. And in the process, it's draining their electricity. It's draining them. And over time, as I lose more and more weight, eat more and more muscles, I'm going to recharge my battery. Eventually, I should be able to take this whole entire wave over. They'll just basically fall asleep into a state of dreaming, or who knows, they may get locked away somewhere else. I don't know where we are, but anyways, that's the science behind it. I know it's complex, but I can see it, and I hope you guys can see it. It's very complex science explained at a grade school level as to how I'm going to get these spaceships in here. So when my sleeper cell children watch this, you need to know that this is real, kids. These are heavily equipped warbirds coming into this universe. Um, I've asked that they come here on my mother's birthday. I don't know if that's possible because I've just learned about eating the protein. So I may have to run a couple weeks, who knows, a couple months. I don't know how long I have to run. Um, I'm hoping maybe 10 days, maybe. Who knows? But I'll continue to do my running. I'm hoping if I run for 8 days straight while eating this protein diet to have that, gate open and allow them to come in here. So all I'm asking is when my book begins to go viral, that you guys just please, please, please just relax. Don't do anything rash. Don't do anything serious because everyone here, including my sleeper cell children, have a chance to get to eternity. I've asked Evil to come here at 7 a.m. with UFOs. I've asked that, um, if they don't come here, I guess they don't want to, come back home to the family forever. That's grandmother's plan to end this peacefully. All it takes is a couple UFOs here Sunday morning on my mother's birthday, and they can live forever and come home. Everyone gets to live happily ever after. That's grandmother's plan. If they refuse that, my plan is this. I'm gonna bring my warbirds in here, and we're gonna be in a war with a bunch of evil civilizations who don't want to listen to their creator. So, with that science, that's how that spaceship is coming in here through Einstein-Rosen bridge, which is nothing but a black hole here at Karen, because they built a nuclear fusion reactor on it, crush it, that black hole then opens up over here in this universe as a white hole on our moon, Karen. All the material from that moon rides that electromagnetic wave. We're normally here, like the magnetic side, till it hits here, and then it rides the magnetic side here that has been positively charged with that because negative and positive come together. The moon material comes over here and it gets ejected out there. Then my spaceships with their engines, they can go fly into that black hole, and then they get shot they should get shot from that black hole at their Earth's moon or their Pluto's Karen. It goes from the Karen to the moon, Pluto, or to Pluto, from Pluto to the star to star in the Milky Way until it reaches the black hole at the center of the Milky Way, and then it bounces from galaxy to galaxy to galaxy till it comes over to here, and then here it does the same, and here it goes from galaxy to galaxy to galaxy, star to star to star until it reaches our star, shoots over to Pluto, and then comes out of the moon Karen. And these are big ships, and they're riding that magnetic wave because these have 11 nuclear fusion reactors. They're made of metal or magnetic material, which makes them a superconducting magnet, and matches the electricity of that atom at the quantum scale. And I honestly believe if I could purify the universe and get that the way it is, these things could fly like in Star Trek. I believe it 100%. So that's the science behind it. Science. So in case you're thinking this guy, he's spot on. I know you guys think I'm a genius. I just know it because I seen it on my feeds earlier. There was a brace on the leg like that, and they talked about that person being a genius. So I know that I know the scientists, they're enjoying this. So welcome to the future, science. The other guys out there, please don't do anything rash because eternity is on the line here, guys. And I don't want, I want to take every single one of you with me. I don't want to lose anybody. But your brethren out there, whatever they choose to do is their own doing. I've laid the cards out for them. If they want to come home, they come home. Then we could end this peacefully. If not, you guys are on our team. Don't do anything rash to jeopardize that.